In the heart of the bustling city, a man named Freeman stood at the very pinnacle of success. But behind his confident smile, a darkness was growing, one that would soon threaten to consume him completely. Freeman was known for his sharp mind and his warm heart. As a successful businessman, he was a true inspiration. His office walls were covered with motivational posters, and he often held workshops to help others chase their own dreams. To many, he was a beacon of hope, a man who truly had it all. But Freeman had a secret. His relentless pursuit of achievement was all-consuming. He firmly believed that success was the ultimate key to happiness. He worked day and night, pushing himself and everyone around him to their absolute limits. But the higher he climbed, the more he felt a strange, persistent emptiness inside. One evening, while alone in his office, a dark thought crept into his mind. What if all this success wasn't enough? What if he could have even more power? This thought began to grow, whispering promises of greatness that could be achieved without the grueling toil of hard work. Freeman found himself drawn to a dangerous idea, harnessing dark energy, a forbidden power that could bend others to his will. He started seeking out those who claimed to have this knowledge, willing to pay any price. As he delved deeper into this shadowy world, Freeman's life began to change dramatically. He grew more powerful, gaining wealth and influence beyond his wildest dreams. Yet, with each step he took towards the darkness, he lost a piece of himself. Friends became rivals, and his once warm heart grew cold and hard. The people who once looked up to him now spoke of him in hushed, fearful tones. He had become ruthless, using his newfound abilities to manipulate and destroy the lives of others. But despite all this power, the gnawing void within him only grew larger. He was trapped in a world of his own making, a world of shadows. Years passed, and the darkness completely enveloped him. Freeman could no longer find any joy in his achievements. The power he had so desperately sought had become a heavy chain, binding him to misery. Sleep became a luxury he couldn't afford, as his nights were haunted by the faces of those he had harmed. In his darkest hour, lost and desperate, Freeman found himself wandering the city streets late one night. He stumbled upon a small church, its doors slightly ajar. Drawn by some unseen force, he stepped inside. The warmth of the place enveloped him, and he seemed to hear a voice whispering words of hope. It spoke of forgiveness, of love, and of a path back to the light. Overwhelmed, Freeman fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. In that raw, vulnerable moment, he sought God and pleaded for help. Freeman's journey back to the light was far from easy. He had to face the severe consequences of his actions, but with each difficult step, he felt the heavy weight on his shoulders begin to lift. He sought out the people he had wronged, offering sincere apologies and doing everything he could to make amends. Slowly but surely, he began to rebuild his life, not for power, but for purpose. He started a foundation to help those in need, using his vast resources to uplift others rather than tear them down. The city that once feared him now saw a man transformed, a man who had finally learned the true meaning of success. Years later, Freeman stood before a group of eager young entrepreneurs, sharing his powerful story. He spoke of ambition, the seductive allure of power, and the critical importance of staying grounded in one's values. True success, he told them, comes from lifting others, not pushing them down. It's about creating a legacy of kindness and hope. The crowd listened, captivated by his honesty and his journey. Freeman had become a symbol of redemption, a living reminder that no one is ever beyond saving. His life was a testament to the power of change and the light that can shine through even the darkest of times. So, what are the real consequences of seeking power without compassion, as we see in Freeman's story? Let's break it down. First, there's the loss of self. Freeman's relentless pursuit of power led to a deep emotional despair. Despite all his success, he felt empty and trapped. This shows that power without a genuine purpose can lead to intense inner turmoil. Next, it destroys relationships. As Freeman became more ruthless, he pushed away friends and allies. The very people who once admired him became his rivals. This is a stark reminder of how unchecked ambition can fracture our most meaningful connections. Then there's moral corruption. His quest for power led him to manipulate and destroy other people's lives. This moral decay highlights how easily ambition can corrupt our core values and ethics. It's a slippery slope, and Freeman's story shows just how fast that slide can be. The weight of regret is another heavy consequence. Freeman was eventually haunted by the faces of those he had harmed. This shows that actions driven by a lack of compassion have lasting consequences that can weigh heavily on one's conscience for years to come. And what about fulfillment? Despite all his wealth and influence, Freeman found no joy or peace. This perfectly illustrates that external achievements, like money and status, don't equal internal happiness, especially when compassion is left behind. His journey also points to the need for redemption. His eventual search for a higher power and his desire to change show that true redemption often begins only after we recognize the harm caused by our own lack of compassion. Finally, it leads to a loss of true influence. Freeman's initial ability to motivate and inspire others vanished as he was consumed by darkness. This proves that authentic leadership, the kind that truly makes a difference, is always rooted in empathy and kindness. Freeman's journey is a powerful cautionary tale about the importance of integrity, empathy, and having a purpose that goes beyond personal ambition. History is filled with examples of leaders who lost their way for this very reason. Think of figures who started with noble intentions but became tyrants, their desire for control overshadowing any concern for their people. They built empires but left behind legacies of fear and suffering, not progress and love. Their stories echo Freeman's, showing that power without a moral compass inevitably leads to ruin, both for the leader and for those they lead. Freeman's journey from darkness to light is a profound reminder that our choices truly shape our destinies. In seeking power only for ourselves, we risk losing our way completely. But through humility and a sincere desire to heal, we can always find our path back to peace. So, what can we learn from Freeman's story? There are 4 key lessons. First, the dangers of power. Pursuing power without compassion can lead to moral corruption and deep personal despair. Second, the importance of empathy. True, lasting success isn't about personal gain, it's about lifting others up and fostering meaningful relationships. Third, redemption is always possible. No matter how far you've strayed, it's never too late to seek forgiveness and make things right. And finally, integrity in leadership. True leaders must balance their ambition with a deep sense of responsibility for the people they lead. Freeman's story challenges us to look at our own ambitions. Are we building something for ourselves, or are we building something that benefits everyone? It's a crucial question to ask. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. We're all here to learn from each other. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.